In this video, I'm going to show how we can use the 21 data workbench to monitor the behavior of a certain variable. And if that behavior is not as expected, we're going to send an alarm. So this is kind of a flow monitoring during streaming time series data. I'm going to define the expected flow again with an envelope. So I'm going to use the envelope miner. And this time we're going to look at the yellow variable. So we're going to look at this flow BIBL variable, which is the yellow one. I'm going to show you here the band which was defined. So I'm going to expect starting from the green, which is this process start event here, the start event. I'm going to expect the yellow signal to behave like this, so to stay inside this band here. Anything above or below is an error, and I would get this process anomaly alarm event. I can maybe put this a little bit tighter, so the band a little bit smaller, so that I get more of a precise expectation here. So, okay, so once we have defined this, this band, we can use it in the stream configurator, and then during streaming, the system will look for the start event of which we have defined, and then from the start event, look if the yellow line stays inside the given expected band. So we're going to go to the stream configurator, and this is called flow monitoring, and we're going to check or use the flow BI, which I just defined, this envelope. Well, it is selected already. Now let's go to the end of this data set here to the very right and streaming the data again and see what happens. So I'm going to stream in that data, and now it does both things. First of all, what we've seen in the first video, it looks for these valleys in the pink line, and then it also looks for starting at the green event. It also looks whether the yellow line stays in the defined pattern. So I'm going to show this, which is the flow monitor on this variable. And we see that here in this case, it perfectly stayed inside the expected area, even pretty much directly on the expected line. But on the third case, after streaming data in, here we get this alarm, and the problem was that the yellow line was overshooting here. So it started correctly, but then it overshoots and leaves the band at this point in time, and this is where we get this event. So that means this is a detected anomaly. The variable goes out of the expected band, starting at a certain event. We monitor for this, and then once this happens, we get an alarm, which is called process anomaly, and that can now be used for further processing or for creating an alarm, an email or something out of here. So we can easily define now these patterns, the start events, and then monitor the behavior of a variable. And if that's not as expected, we get an event or an alarm. This is the flow monitor of the 21 data workbench.